Jimmy.
What's up? What's up?
Did I hit something?
What the fuck is that?
Is there
Is
flat?
that flat?
What? No.
What the fuck? You better pull over and see.
Yeah.
No. Still alive. No. Fucking piece of shit. God. God. Look at me. Look at my fucking eyes. God.
As far back as I could remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
I know I'd go from rags to riches if you would only say you care. And though my pocket may be empty, I'd be a millionaire. My clothes may still be torn and tattered.
To me, being a gangster was better than being president of the United States.
Your love is all that ever
Even before I first wandered into the cab stand for an after-school job, I knew I wanted to be a part of them. It was there that I knew that I belonged. And to me, it meant being somebody in a neighborhood that was full of nobodies. They weren't like anybody else. I mean, they did whatever they wanted. They double parked in front of a hydrant and nobody ever gave them a ticket. In the summer, when they played cards all night, nobody ever called the cops.
Must I forever be a beggar?
Good. Good to see you.
Whose golden dreams will not come true.
Hey, only stacks, all right.
Will I go from rags to
Tootie Cicero,
This Peter Canasi kid.
my fate
All
is
right,
up to you.
Tootie.
Make it, Turi.
Tootie ran the cab stand and La Bella Vista Pizzeria and a few other places for his brother Paul, who was the boss over everybody in the neighborhood.
Hello, Paulie. Hey, Paulie.
Paulie might have moved slow. But it was only because Paulie didn't have to move for anybody.
Must I forever be a beggar?
It's your fault. You started it. I started it. It's your fault. Junior, here.
At first, my parents loved that I found a job across the street from the house.
Henry, don't play ball with
My father, who was Irish, was sent to work at the age of 11, and he liked that I got myself a job. He always used to say that American kids were spoiled lazy.
Bye, sis. Bye, Dad. Bye.
See you, Mikey.
Say goodbye to Bye, Henry. Henry, watch how you cross. And bring back milk.
And my mother was happy after she found out that the Ciceros came from the same part of Sicily as she did. I mean, to my mother, that was the answer to all her prayers. I was the luckiest kid in the world. I could go anywhere. I could do anything. I knew everybody, and everybody knew me. Wise guys would pull up, and Tootie would toss me their keys and let me park their Cadillacs. I mean, here I am, this little kid. I can't even see over the steering wheel, and I'm parking Cadillacs. But it wasn't too long before my parents changed their minds about my job at the cab stand.
For your mother and sister, make sure you give them to her.
For them, the cab stand was supposed to be a part-time job, but for me, it was definitely full-time. That's all I wanted to do. See, people like my father could never understand, but I was a part of something. I belonged. I was treated like a grown-up.
Henry, look, Henry, tell him 519. It's a bad
Every
number.
day I was learning to score. $1 here, $1 there. I was living in a fantasy.
Fuck is Moto Run spot.
Is that right? Did you have a good day at school today?
My father was always pissed off.
Learned a lot.
He was pissed that he made such lousy money. He was pissed that my kid brother Michael was in a wheelchair. He was pissed that there were 7 of us living in such a tiny house.
Why don't you tell me about this? It's a letter from school. Says you haven't been there in months. In months? You think this so smart? You're nothing but bums! You want to grow up to be a bum?
But after a while, he was mostly pissed because I hung around the cab stand. He knew what went on at that cab stand. And every once in a while, I'd have to take a beating. But by then, I didn't care. The way I saw it, everybody takes a beating sometime.
I can't make any more deliveries.
What do you mean you can't make any more deliveries? You're gonna fuck everything up.
My dad said he's gonna kill me. Look.
Come on with me. That him dead, kid?
No.
How about him?
Nope. That's the guy.
Get him.
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Meg.
You know this kid?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know where he lives?
Yeah.
Deliver mail to his house?
Answer.
Yeah.
Well, from now on, any letter from that school to that kid's house comes directly here. You understand?
Yeah.
If another letter from that school goes to that kid's house, in the fucking oven, you're gonna go ahead first.
That was it. No more letters from truant officers, no more letters from school, in fact, no more letters from anybody. Finally, after a couple of weeks, my mother had to go to the post office and complain. How could I go back to school after that and pledge allegiance to the flag and sit through good government bullshit? Paulie hated phones. He wouldn't have one in his house.
Oh, you want me to call him back?
No, I make the call nice.
He used to get all his calls secondhand, then you'd have to call the people back from an outside phone.
You get it, Nickel? Yeah. Get him on the phone for me.
Yeah. Don't get your feet.
There were guys, that's all they did. All day long was take care of Paulie's phone calls. For a guy who moved all day long, Paulie didn't talk to 6 people. If there was a union problem or, say, a beef in the numbers, then only the top guys could meet with Paulie to discuss the problem. Everything was one-on-one. Paulie hated conferences. He didn't want anybody hearing what he said, and he didn't want anybody listening to what he was being told. Hundreds of guys depended on Paulie, and he got a piece of everything they made. It was tribute, just like in the old country, except they were doing it here in America. And all they got from Paulie was protection from other guys looking to rip them off. And that's what it's all about. That's what the FBI could never understand. That what Paulie and the organization does is offer protection for people who can't go to the cops. That's it. That's all it is. They're like the police department for wise guys. People looked at me differently, and they knew I was with somebody. I didn't have to wait in line at the bakery on Sunday mornings anymore for fresh bread. The owner knew who I was with, and he'd come from around the counter no matter how many people were waiting. I was taken care of first. Our neighbors didn't park in our driveway anymore, even though we didn't have a car. At 13, I was making more money than most of the grown-ups in the neighborhood. I mean, I had more money than I could spend. I had it all. One day, some of the kids from the neighborhood carried my mother's groceries all the way home. You know why? It was out of respect.